Johannesburg, where the funeral procession of retired Judge Yvonne Mokgoro has just left the church where the service was being held. President Cyril Ramaphosa and Chief Justice Raymond Zondo are among those many people who pay tribute. Mokgoro has been praised for her contribution to the legal fraternity. In fact, our reporter Corinda Jagmahan attended that service, and what a fitting send-off it was, Corinda, being described more of a celebration of her life than really a farewell.
It was absolutely a celebration of her life because Justice Mokgoro's colleagues, family, friends all came to the podium and, while of course in despair at this time, recounted the happy memories they shared with her. One touching tribute was from the Deputy Chief Justice, Mandisa Maya, who actually swayed away from the professional relationship she shared with Justice Mokgoro, instead speaking about their personal friendship, their time when Justice Mokgoro actually took a number of young scholars under her wing when they traveled to the US for scholarship opportunity, and really was the guiding light for the young scholars that ultimately grew up to be the Deputy Chief Justice Mandisa Maya, as well as Justice Thuron as well, among a number of influential minds in the country. But that is really the personal relationship they shared. They also then celebrated the work that Justice Mokgoro has done for the country in terms of ensuring that the principles of Ubuntu are in our constitution and ensuring justice essentially for those who are marginalized in our country. That was Justice Mokgoro's utmost priority, and she really showed that. There was just talk about the respect that she showed, whether it be to high officials or to even staff in her office. Even if those staff were cleaning staff, there was no difference for her. Many of her colleagues, family and friends say that she treated everyone equally and that these are the lessons we should learn. Of course, Chief Justice Zondo paid a fitting tribute as well. Take a listen to his words.
Justice Mokgoro was an embodiment of the values of our Constitution. As many speakers have said, she was humble, she was loving, she was caring, and she was hardworking. Of all the years that I've known her, I've never come across her angry or bitter. The fact that Justice Yvonne Mokgoro was a justice of the Constitutional Court was not something that was always in her mind. Justice Mokgoro had the same respect for everybody.
Well, there you hear essentially that personal tribute. But of course, we know Justice Mokgoro is celebrated for creating or paving the pathway for young black women in South Africa, being the first black woman to be appointed at the Apex Court. Also in 1994, at a time when the country was turning over, going into democracy. And so we also heard about her personal life and times. She came from, of course, a childhood where her mother worked as a domestic worker, her father worked as a general worker as well, and Justice Mokgoro, as a little girl, saw really the injustices of the country at that time. And throughout her journey, at least what we learned from this memorial, the funeral today, was how she met certain role players throughout her life that prompted her and pushed her to ultimately do the work that she did in the Constitutional Court with regards to ensuring that those that are oppressed, the marginalized of this country, are seen and are given a voice, given a platform essentially, and are given justice, and ultimately entrenching the values of Ubuntu in our constitution. So that was really something that was celebrated. And then we also hear that she, despite the powerful role that she played, was always a humble person. Take a listen to President Cyril Ramaphosa, who delivered the eulogy today.
We gather here today to lay to rest a great South African, a champion of human rights, an outstanding jurist and an icon of gender justice in our country. And through her life and through her work, I would call her Imbokodo, Justice Yvonne Mokgoro.
Such wonderful tributes, not only by the President and the Chief Justice, but certainly by her children as well and other members of her family. I heard her sister speak as well. Corinda, thanks very much indeed for that update and for giving us a sense of how Justice Yvonne Mokgoro has been laid to rest, one of the first and leading jurists of a democratic constitutional court.